But it is something that we are going to need, and right now we have everything except for the big seeder that we need. So, all right, so we're done collecting this. I'm going to go park this in the barn, or in the. I'll put this with the harvester because it's kind of a harvester thing. And this guy's going to grab that fertilizer and start fertilizing the field. All right. Sweetness. So let's go ahead and grab the fertilizer. I'm driving the wrong way. That would be over here. So our next field should yield about 1.7 or 1.8 times, I think is what the multiplier is for doing this. The fertilizer is definitely worthwhile. So we need to get out. We need to back out. Oh, before we start this, the other thing we should do is check. Is that guy done cultivating? Yep, he is. So now he needs to cultivate the field that we just collected from. So we'll get him down back to that field again and start it. We're getting ready for tomorrow. So tomorrow morning on day 2, really we're almost done with day 1. The end of the day is basically going to be finishing up the seeding, fertilizing all the fields, and then getting these tractors cleaned and put away for the night. And that's it for day 1. So you can see this is how the pace goes as a farmer only. Now, we could find other ways to make money. I definitely am not against logging. In fact, I might buy a chainsaw. The downside is that we don't have much money left. Actually, this tractor, we can sell, well, we'll cultivate first, and then I'm going to sell this. So there's more to do on day 1. Day 1 is not over yet. And we'll see how much money we have. If we have enough, we're going to definitely buy the seeder. I might get a smaller seeder, but the issue with doing the logs is that we're going to need a truck or something that we can, move the logs around with. So we'll see. So let this guy go to work, and this guy we're going to do this by hand. Oops. And I need to zoom out. I don't think we're lined up yet. I think we need to go here. This one's a little bit hard to judge because it's, you don't know how wide it's going to be, and it's expensive to operate. Come on, go, go, go. All right, there we go. Okay, I hit it good. But then probably too shallow. But whatever. Right on that edge. Good. It's never perfect, and it makes me nuts. Now, you can fertilize at any point in the process in this game. It doesn't have to be after you plant or before you seed or before you cultivate. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep this guy rolling for a little bit while that other stuff is going on. Well, as he's cultivating that field, I'm going to fertilize that field. And then we'll run up to the top field and fertilize that one also. That one will probably take the bulk of my fertilizer. In fact, I'm probably going to fill it up again before I go all the way up there, so I don't have to come back. So let's go ahead and we'll run alongside this dude. Perfect. And we should be able to outpace him so I don't get in his way. So once again, If you're mad at me for not continuing Cold Burrow, I apologize. But I really felt like I wanted to do something that's more applicable to most players. And if you're new to the game, this is still very applicable to you. So we're going to leave that little corner undone. I hate to do that, but I just don't feel like wasting all of that fertilizer to get that little bit. I think the cost is, who knows. So that field's done. That field's done. Get back in close so I can see where I'm going. Yeah, so you like my new video card? You can actually see the details inside the cabin. Ooh. Nothing's blurry or fuzzy looking. Frame rates are pretty good. Pretty solid 60 frames per second. I did have to turn anti-aliasing off, though. The game was still getting stuttery. And my computer's running like 400 degrees hotter than it used to. One of those performance things. I smell hotness coming out of my computer. I tested the temperatures, though. The processor cores were at 41 degrees. I think it's Celsius. Which, from where we're at online, is just fine. Like, you have to start worrying when it goes up to, like, 70, 80. Maybe even 60, depending on the processor type. Then I also was reading online that, like, the video card that I have specifically it's an R380 is the new card that I got. And it's overclocked. And they said that, you know, you should start getting concerned when temperatures hit above 85 degrees. Well, when I was playing Grand Theft Auto, full everything turned up, using up most of the RAM that the card had, I was hitting like 62, 63 degrees max, maybe 65. So it was getting hot, but it wasn't so hot that I should be alarmed. And so right now it's probably running about the same thing. So it's interesting to have a card that runs a lot hotter, because my other card was cool as a cucumber, but like I said, it couldn't do what this card does. Now this game unfortunately does not seem to take advantage of any of that graphic hardware advancement. It kind of looks almost the same, though it is a little faster, and I can turn things up a little bit more, but it's kind of not a huge difference. Same with World of Tanks. Now, where I did see a difference, like I said, Wreckfest, the racing game, saw a huge increase in graphics performance. And then also, Grand Theft Auto looks amazing. Alright, so here we go. And runs like 60 frames a second, no problem. So, where I'm seeing a big improvement is the frame rate consistency. It seems like I'm pretty much holding, on all my games, I'm easily holding 60 frames a second, with the graphics on most of the games turned up all the way. So that is a big improvement, and I'm happy with that. And that's what I was looking for. I asked the guy at the store when I went in, I'm like, listen, I've got, you know, just under $200 to work with. This is the card I'm using. What can you get me that's going to be, you know, a nice upgrade? And the guy was like, oh, well, if you had, you know, $240, we have the R380 series. And I was like, well, that's a little bit out of my budget. So he showed me a couple other cards, and I'm like, yeah, those are nice, you know, but he's like, well, none of these are going to give you a massive improvement in performance. It's like, really? Rats. So I was like, well, you know, it is what it is. I'll take that. And then his associate was like, well, hang on a second. You know what, Bob? I think, why don't you check in the back? Because I think we just got back an open boxed, you know, R380. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, and it's $190 instead of $250 or $240. And I was like, oh, okay. So they went back. He's like, yeah, sure enough, we have it. He's like, we tested it out. It works fine. It's got everything in it. It's, you know, basically it's brand new. It's open box. So I took it, and I've been using it for 2 days now, no issues, and it looks amazing. Like I said, it does run hotter, though, and so I'm getting used to that heat blowing out onto my face because I have my computer back facing me. It's between the couch and the chair and the love seat. And there's heat coming up from that box. It's probably heat the living room here with that thing. So it's a little different than what I'm used to. But still, it's a cool upgrade, and I'm excited about it. So, all right, guys. So this field is pretty much done as far as fertilizer goes. So really, all that's left to do is seed that and cultivate that last field. And that guy's probably almost done cultivating. So I'll catch up with you in a second here. All right. So my cultivator is done. Oops, my mic is too far away. Sorry. My Seeder is still going, but the cultivator is done. Cultivating, it's time to sell this tractor and get a little more money. Because with the new seeder that we're going to buy, we are not going to need 2 of these tractors. I'm only going to need 1. I don't need one for cultivation and one for seeding. So we're going to take this guy down to the shop. Now, if you're new to this game, one of the things that you need to know, you can sell the tractors through the menu, but you make more money if you return the tractor to the sales spot. Now, if you've watched my starting your new farm tutorial or animal husbandry tutorial, you've seen that tutorial. You've seen me do that. It is, but if you haven't, here we go. You need to sell at the sell point, because if you lose about 25% off. I think they give you 70% of the original cost. If you take it here, if you take it to, or if you sell it through the menu, you only get 50%. So you lose a decent chunk of change selling equipment. Either way, it's a bit of a loss, but at least you get some usefulness out of the equipment. I'd rather make more money than less, right? So we're going to sell the cultivator. We're going to sell the weight. And goodbye, Agro Star. So now we have a little bit of money to work with. Unfortunately, the seeder, we have this larger one, which is really what we should get. Though it does out-horsepower our tractor. It doesn't mean the AgroStar can't pull it, but it's going to be quite a hard thing for this. Not a hard thing. It's going to be quite a challenge for the AgroStar to be pulling this, but I think this is the way to go because it's a much larger seeder. The other option, we have a mod seeder made by the same company. Here we have this guy, the Rapide 300C. It's a much smaller seeder, but the requirements are within our range, and it costs about a quarter of the price. If I was keeping both of those, I probably would do it this way, but let's just do the expensive one. I'd rather spend the money. This is going to make things go a lot faster. Whoops. Here we go. That leaves us with $17,000. We still need to buy... What else do we need to get? I think that's it for now. Gosh, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, the cleaner. Yeah. All right, so we still have enough money, thankfully, left over to buy our cleaner. And so, hang on a second. All right, so we're going to place this... Whoa! It's just a little sensitive. I feel like this... I'm going to put it... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it up here. All of the tractors at some point or another come through this area. So we're going to put it over by this barn up there. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to have to move my other equipment, but... Why do I buy that? Well, because the tractors and harvester and stuff get dirty. There's nothing that perturbs me more than a dirty tractor. So we're going to take this over here and clean it and then put it away. Power washer. Off we go. Now, thankfully, they fixed... There were some issues early on with this game where the power washer wouldn't clean some things. But... Clean we do. Clean we dost. That's as clean as she gets. So our Sampo Rosenloo is clean. And we've now spent our farm into oblivion, but we have what we need for the near future. And that would be the next couple days of small field farming. Now, we will eventually buy those other 2 fields here. It just makes sense. The southern field... will be mine. And then we'll get into animal husbandry and all that good stuff. So I'm going to park this bad boy here. Boop boop. And this guy is almost done with this field, so he's got one more field to do, but I can sell the seeder at this point now when he's finished with this field, and we'll go pick up the new seeder. In the meanwhile, I'm going to take this guy up and get him prepped for washing. And we should also fill this back up again. I guess we can leave it. And no, we're going to fill it up. So we're going to wash this off. Now, if we want to get really tricksy, we can sell this tractor too, but I would prefer right now to keep this tractor. That way we can have two tractors. One I can run a hired worker in, and the other one can do work around the farm. So I think it's probably a better idea to keep this guy for now. He's small, but he can pull at least that one tipper, and so he's got enough power to pull the tipper. And then let's see here. So that guy's done. This guy, we're gonna go sell this seeder and pick up the new seeder that we purchased. So we'll have a little more money to work for, because I think this seeder is worth probably about $5,000. So I will be back. I'm gonna run this down to the store. I will catch up with you down there. All right, so we are down at the sell place. The dealer, oh, 9,000, nice. Okay, well that gives us a little bit of income till tomorrow when our crops are grown. So we're gonna grab the seeder and seed the last field. And we'll watch this guy go. But this one definitely is worth the purchase. This is always one of those things that I recommend that you get first in the game, because it's going to help you seed a lot faster, and you don't have to cultivate. So that eliminates the need for one tractor, because you don't have to. I mean, you can use one tractor anyway, but you know, instead of taking 6 hours to seed and cultivate, you've now knocked your time down to like 2 hours. So why did my phone help? That's your fault. Mom's. And I'm not going to fill this seeder up, because this seeder takes 9,000 seeds, and it's like a couple $1,000s to fill up. So we're just going to let the worker. When you hire a worker, he just charges you for the seed he uses. So for right now, I want to keep as much income in my bank as possible, because obviously we're going to have expenses coming out, and we're going to start growing. So we're going to grow with this seeder. I can grow wheat, barley, canola, grass, and then the other ones aren't supported on this map. So wheat, barley, canola, basically. Oops, wrong button. Dang it. Tell Seth he's being too noisy. Alright, so this is the last field that we have to do, and then I think at this point we'll just hold. I was thinking about buying a chainsaw and getting a trailer, but the problem is we have no way to load the logs onto the trailer, so it's going to be a little while before we can afford to do that. But logs are a good way to make money if you're not going to quote-unquote cheat using silage. So that's the other way to make decent income in this game. Oh, I missed a spot. Rats. Oh well. It's not fertilized there anyway. So you can see how much faster this guy is going. Instead of going 10 kilometers an hour, he's going 20. And look, he already covered like a third of the field with that spread. So this is a much larger seeder. They're helping the elephant. It said that it got shot with poisonous arrows, and it went to actually find humans for help. Elephants are pretty smart. Alright, so we're going to let this guy do his work. I'm going to put this tractor away. He's actually going to get, let's see, what happened? What did I do with my trailer? I don't remember what I did with the little trailer. The little trala. Oh, there it is. It's parked in here. So we're going to do this. We're going to park this here. I'm going to clean the trailer. Oh, and that plow needs to come in here too. I don't know. Unfortunately, with this game, you almost never use plows. There's really no reason to use it unless maybe the soil mod requires you to use it. But in the stock game, unless you're going to try to expand a field, there's really no point. Or maybe plow out a grass field. The plows are kind of useless. Oh, this needs to be cleaned too. It's dirty. So let's take it over to the cleaner and clean it up. That is an awfully big plow for this little tractor. You can see that guy's almost halfway done with that field already. So that seeder just makes a huge difference. And so far, we're pretty much all stock on this farm. I haven't really done anything that's not that's modified. Everything that we're using so far is non-mod, which is fine. It's cool stuff. But we will be getting into some mods. I have probably the next harvester will be a mod harvester because I have some cool ones that are kind of middle size that are missing from the game. Really, the game gives you like a couple small harvesters and then some really big ones, but it doesn't give you like these like in between sized harvesters. All right, so let's go ahead and drop this here. Good. And the trailer gets to be washed. Or worst. Oh, I'm so dang funny. I am so funny it hurts. I think that's a computer in this child. Alright, so this, I think we'll put the wagon down with the harvesting stuff because it doesn't make sense for the wagon to be up here with the tractor, like planting stuff. One of the things that I don't like about this farm is the fact that we have this like distributed barn system. I wish they would have put them closer together, but instead you have like one that's way over here and one that's way over there. But that's reality, I guess. Put this here. Boop. And aside from the weight needing to be cleaned, I think we're done. Look, that guy is really almost finished with that field. That's what I'm saying, man. See how that seeder makes a huge difference in productivity. Because you can just get out there and seed the crap out of the farm and then be done and go do other stuff. So really, the next goal that we're going to be doing, it's our stretch goal, is to get enough money in crops saved up so that we can get the logging trailer. Or at least some kind of trailer. I think if we get, like, there's a log, just a regular old log trailer that doesn't have any powered. In fact, we can even look to mods for that. There's that Kroger wagon that I like. That's not too expensive, and maybe we'll figure it out. We'll figure out what we're gonna do. I gotta kind of look at prices and try to see which is the cheapest way to go, but that's still the most effective. But we'll do some lumber to generate extra income, because obviously now that we're done seeding, well, now what, right? Because the fields are all planted. I now have about 24 hours until the next until the fields are ready to be harvested. So right now I have nothing to do on the farm because I've planted everything and we've sold what we needed to sell, and so there's no other activities that I can really do that are going to make me money. So it's just a waiting game now, and that really is how a real farm is. But there's other things that we can do. So one of those things to supplement our income is going to be logging. I don't like logging enough to do it full time, but I like it enough that I can. And I will say, since I got the Xbox 360, a year ago when I tried it, I had all kinds of problems. But since I got the Xbox 360 joystick, it's a little bit easier to do the logging trailers and manipulate the machinery to do what you need it to do. I still don't like the wood chipper. It's a pain in the butt to use. And it's freaking expensive. So. But we will get into logging here on this map. This is definitely a good map for logging. And so I think it'll be a fun run for another season. In fact, we may stay here for a while. I don't know. I seem to be able to make one farm per season. So I apologize for those of you that were into Cold Burrow. I just was bored. And like I said, I like the ability to be able to manage some. And with Cold Burrow, unfortunately, it was mostly just me, you know, having to hand work all the fields, and it took forever, and it made me not make videos because I spent most of my time just hand working. So this way we're actually getting stuff done. And so we're gonna park this guy down here, I think. No, it's too hard to get the thing in there. And now I've missed my opportunity. Come on. This huge freaking thing over here. So really, I still like the stock maps the best. Like I said, I've tried a lot of different maps. I am enjoying the Switzerland map for my personal map, the Alps. I also like some of the other maps that are out there, but these are really the best for videos and for making working farms because they've included everything in here and it's well executed. I feel like a lot of the mod maps are missing things or things don't work quite right, and I don't know. I love Bjornholm though. Like I said, I haven't done a lot of farming here, so some of you might be sick of this farm, but I think it's a nice farm, a good farm to make a video on, and there's a lot to do. So, all right, guys, that's it for day one. Hopefully you've been enjoying this series so far. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you on day 2.